Welcome to Relationships Through the Looking Glass. You have now entered the in-betweens, the series of episodes between seasons that focus on absolutely anything. I really don't know what might come up in these topics, but what I do know, the content you'll listen to, you'll definitely find something that you can utilize in your own relationships. So sit back and relax, and let's get started.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 10 of the In-Betweens, our series with relationships through the looking glass between season 2 and season 3. So we are excited to be jumping off season 3. Actually, this is our last in-between episode, and we saved the last one for a real one for the books, as Drew said, one for the books. So I'm just excited to get started. We are going to be talking about the curious experience, the curious world of online dating and what it all means. I'm a neophyte in that space, so I'm going to be listening and learning. I will share some experiences that I've had. Obviously, it's pertaining to me, so it's going to be funny in some areas and sad in others. But anyway, so what we're going to do is let's do a mental health check. So starting with Drew, and Drew, introduce the lovely lady sitting next to you.
I'll let her introduce herself because she should have her time and shine.
Oh, why, thank you. So hi everyone, I'm Daisha. I'm Drew's fiance. Drew and I have been dating for about 4.5 years now. We've been engaged for one actually this weekend, so that's exciting. From South Carolina, based in Charlotte, and I work for Time Magazine.
Outstanding. Go Tigers. Wonderful.
Okay.
And how are you guys doing this week? Any highs, any lows, any great things you want to share?
That's a good question. First and foremost, this is Drew from the podcast Drew vs. the World podcast. It's a podcast about giving inspiration through information. And through the information we give, you can become a world changer yourself. So tune into Drew vs. the World every Monday. But anyway, I think the mental health check, I think we've been doing all right. We had a therapy session this week that I think went very well. We take couples therapy, because I think that's the right thing to do. Definitely in this, Black space.
Yes.
And I think it went very well. We're doing a lot with, she's doing majority of the stuff with our wedding. It's like counting down. March 25th is our wedding. So we're just trying to wrap everything up.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah. So I think she's a little bit bogged down, but I've been trying to ease the pain, ease the stress some way, somehow. But I still keep my clothes on the floor. So I think that's the that's the issue that we came across so far. What about you, babe? What you think?
I'd say mental health check are doing pretty well. I'm not quite a bridezilla yet. I would say that that's a good piece. We did have a little sick kid. Drew and I have a son together named Grayson. So we had a sick kid yesterday and today. So that was a little low. He doing well, thankfully. But other than that, I'd say it's been a pretty all right week. We're just going to kick back and spend time as a family this weekend. So, yeah.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. And I'm glad the little man is feeling better, because feeling icky is not fun, especially for the person, but also for the parents, because there's no sleep when that's going on. No sleep.
Yeah.
So Keisha, how you been? How's this week going for you?
Well, work has been a bit challenging this week, but beyond work, it's been a good week. I'm a mental health therapist, so yes, it's been challenging.
Yeah, I've heard some of the challenges. So yes,
yes.
I will agree. I will agree. All right. Hey, Chris, how was your week?
Week was pretty good. Getting back in the flow of things, working on the whole BYOB lifestyle movement. I inspired my little sister. She had sent the text to the family early this week saying that she's kind of moving into that space too. She's starting her own movement far as the build your own body, BAWDY. So like I said, just inspiring her, and hopefully I can inspire more people as well. So got some things working, like I always say.
Sounds like it's a productive week. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Nicole, how was your week?
All good on this end.
That's it. That's all you're going to give us.
Keep it
Not
simple.
much to talk about.
Got you. My week freaking sucked. I've been being dragged at work. I got sick. Drew and I are a part of this collective, this C4 challenge. I'm going to save that for about 2 seconds down the road here so I can let you guys know how I met Drew. That's been interesting. It's been more time consuming than I would want to admit. But I do believe in what we're doing. But like I was just saying to Drew before we started recording, we were in a meeting last night that I was just like, man, look, do I really want to do this? And I paid for it like physically. So I'm really still kind of under the weather, not feeling at 100%. So I'm hoping that that energy doesn't come through, and I'm giving as much as I can until I get off the mic, and then I'll probably crash. But I met Drew in the C4 challenge that we did back in October. And that was a whole experience where I think it was like a joke at first to say, hey, let's do an episode every day for 30 days. And I'm always up to it for a challenge because I'm just competitive. And some of that came out last night in the conversation I was having. But I'm like, hey, if somebody's going to challenge me to do it, I'm going to do it. And I did. So I really enjoyed it. But what I really like more than just creating the content is building that network that we did. It's always refreshing to run into Black creatives because Black creatives, I mean, we literally run the world. Like people copy all our crap, all of it, and try to claim it as theirs. And they've been doing it since the beginning of time. So to be able to be in a space where you're with other Black creatives, and then Drew is smart. Not saying the whole team isn't smart, but like me and Drew connect on a tech level, on a creative level, on building things level. And it just feels good when you don't have to explain stuff to people, you know? And when you respect somebody and they say, like this morning, Drew was like, your wording's off-centered. Usually I would have been like, no, it ain't. I know what I'm doing. But I was just like, oh, it is? Where is it off-centered? You know what I'm saying? So we're able to work in a team, and that's so refreshing, especially in our community. So I'm just ecstatic that we were able to meet that way, that we are going into season 2. We have a pretty large group of people who look like they're going to participate. So definitely you guys keep an eye out. If you don't know what the C4 Challenge is, definitely check out the website, www.c4challenge.com. You'll get all the old stuff that we did last season, all the new stuff that's coming up next month. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into these questions here. So we're talking about online dating and everything that comes with online dating. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. It's not really my area. It's not my jam. I have my reasons why it's not, and I will share that when it gets to my turn. And Nicole kind of is in the same boat with me. It's just not our thing. But we're hoping to get some information from you all and your experiences. So I want to jump off and start. And we know that Drew has a success story, so we're going to save his actual story for the end. But when you all started, and this is for both of you, when you all started the whole online process, like what was your purpose? Like some people get on there specifically to smash, like we're going to find somebody and I'm smashing, and then that's what I'm doing. But, you know, there's people out there who have intention. So when you both started this online journey, what was your intention? And did you honestly think you were going to meet your spouse?
Andrew, I'm gonna let you start with this one.
Okay, I've been holding back. No, but I think that, so just for transparency, I think I started Tinder when Tinder was just started, right? So when it's just as picking up steam, I jumped on there and I was like, I was already getting work at the bar, but it was even a faster way to connect from a digital age. It was faster to connect from a digital
Look at her
age.
face when she said that. Oh, really now?
And the whole thing was that it was just in the beginning, it was just, hey, I just wanted to find somebody I could go out with and, kick it with and just date around. And then it turned into more or less kind of like I'm in this city. When I was traveling, hey, it's a quick way instead of having to go to a bar, meet somebody, I can be like, hey, swipe left, swipe right, and then connect with that person either while I'm there or when the next time I'm in town. So then I went for Plenty of Fish. That was another app that was working. And I was kind of using them tandem, trying to basically connect with other females in the cities I was in. And then once I kind of like started playing the game and started to, because all it is a kind of a game is you're trying to find your top 3 or top 4 that you're going to rock with, and then at the end of the day you cut your roster off to maybe 2 or 1 that you're going to keep at the end of the day.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at her face right now.
I'm lucky I made it. Look at this.
Just like I made the cut.
So the main thing I was always feeling like with even Tinder is like you create a profile for somebody. It's basically like Instagram, but it's for dating, right? So basically, I always did 2 things. I always made sure that I have a real picture of me currently in the photo. And then also like it's a game of numbers, really. It's like you match with somebody, you say, hey, what's up? And you connect with them and you have a conversation that could continue. Either maybe they don't respond back or they do respond back. So it's always about playing a game. It's a numbers game. I was very big on diversifying my places where I was trying to interact. And that was kind of, but to answer your question, it was 95% trying to smash. Like, I'm not going to hold you. So I'll let my wonderful future wife talk after this. Here you go. She's gonna tell about her story. I already know what she's gonna say too. Go ahead.
No. I'm gonna answer the question and we'll get there. So I actually was in a relationship for 3 years prior to online dating. I had just finished college and I was just looking to figure out what I like and what I don't like. And I thought online dating and like living on my own for the first time was the best way to do that. So for me, it was just like hopping on, like obviously, like Drew said, pretty much creating a profile, figuring out who I can just kind of kick it with and see what works for me and what doesn't. I went on a lot of dates. I canceled a lot of dates. They were boring, a lot of people in terms of what I would say they were fake. And like Drew, they were trying to smash. It just didn't seem reasonable. So I would hop on online dating and then I would just kind of give it a break. Or I would say, okay, well, I'm going to see like, oh, there's this one person. Okay, cool. I'll go on a date and then I'll just take a break. So for me, it was just a matter of figuring out what I like and what I don't like in the dating space after coming from a long relationship or long at that time. So it really wasn't to smash. I really wasn't in it for that. If I can be transparent, I didn't feel like that was necessary for, how do I say this nicely? I have my other ways of making that happen if I need to make it happen.
Oh, and Drew's like, yes.
but no, I really was just trying to figure out what I like, what I don't like, coming straight from high school and then to college and then living on my own. I really hadn't taken time to explore that. So that was my reason for just trying it.
Awesome. So here's a funny question for you two. When you guys matched, like, was there a chemistry right away? Like, were you guys talking for hours at a time and this, that, and the other? Or was it like the dude was just sitting in your inbox for a minute and you're like, let me go back and see what's up with him?
So I'll take this one.
She's gonna love this.
I love this part. So Drew actually messaged me and I ignored him. So we matched, but that was at one of those periods where I was like, I'm good. I'm just gonna take a break. I read the message. I just didn't care. So I guess he felt like he wanted to message me again and he did. And that time I felt like I wanted to respond. And he was actually one of the only guys that decided he was going to pick up the phone and call me instead of just shooting me a "what's up" text message. So that immediately was like, okay, he has my attention. We talked. Our first date is still memorable. We can tell you exactly what we wore, what we did, like our conversation, everything. But we just kind of kept it cool. So general text messages, dates, it didn't feel too much like we were moving too fast. It felt like I was really getting to know Drew. He was getting to know me. And we were honestly starting out as friends and being like, okay, well, let's see where this could go. I still had expectations for Drew because it was very clear that he was trying to date me. But in the same token, it was really more so like friends. Like one of our dates was working out, or if it was just like I'm having a long day, like I would just shoot him a call. But it was just relaxing. It didn't feel like he was doing the most or surprisingly trying to smash.
Right.
So kudos to you.
That came later.
Kudos. In a lesson, we heard 2 lessons, right? Pick up the phone, fellas, pick up the phone and call. And just because she ignored your first text, try again. That you have to put in a Lilia song right here. If you
I
first you
don't
done
know.
6
I
minutes.
think I heard another lesson. I heard a whole lot of games coming out. Games and games and more games.
Uh-oh. I think that was coming off you, Drew.
That's fine.
I got my pen and pad. I'm taking notes. So
Please do.
Like, look, I'm trying to smash. I'm trying to smash. This is awesome. I'm sorry.
And here was like, and it's funny that you say that because the one thing I did gamify it though. It's funny that you say that because I used to have this spreadsheet and man. This a spreadsheet. Wow. This is I used to have a spreadsheet of restaurants.
Okay.
Yeah, I did have a spreadsheet of that, but I had to delete that. That's a long story. But I had a spreadsheet of restaurants I want to. I'm sorry.
Now we see why you like them. As soon as you said spreadsheets, I'm like, oh, okay, you want to.
Oh yeah, spreadsheets. That's my love language right there, right next to sarcasm. You give me a serious spreadsheet. What?
Right.
When are we getting married? Okay.
So I had a spreadsheet of restaurants that I had that are in Charlotte or new to Charlotte or something like that I was interested in. And when I went on dates with young ladies from Tinder or whatever, I would just like take them to one of the restaurants I was interested in, because at the end of the day, if it was a trash date, I could always say that at least I went to a nice restaurant. Yeah. So that was kind of gamifying, knocking it down.
That makes sense. Sense. And we're going to circle back around to you two because I want to jump over here to Keisha. out of the 3 Wonderland females, Keisha has the most experience in that space, and she is able to give an educated overview, which I can't speak to. I mean, I could, but my junk it's Keisha, help me out here. What is your intention? Like when you get on and you're working in the online dating space, like do you go in with intention, or is it just, hey, I'm bored, I want to see what's out here?
At one point, I just wanted to see what was out there. And then from the guys that I met through the online dating, it was like, oh God, no, this isn't worth it. So I would cut my online dating off. And then at one point, I guess, as things kind of, life progressed, it was like, okay, let me try it again. And it's always like one of my friends that's encouraging, like, I think you should try it again, because they know of someone who was very successful with online dating. So when I tried it again, I switched my profile and I made it more business professional. So that would, with the hopes of attracting someone who was serious about dating and hopefully finding true love. So it worked where it filtered out like a lot of the guys who was just looking to, of course, I think in every guy's mind, in the back of their mind is, okay, I do ultimately want to smash. But it wasn't the type of guys. Once I switched my profile, it was more, professional men that came along. Now, I can't quite say that I've been successful 100% on online dating. I have met a couple of guys that are, I can say now, that are like really good friends, as far as hanging out or getting to know you, I guess, in those areas. So I don't know where it's going to go, but from my experience, when I switched up my profile and getting to the point where I was really looking for something solid, it did help.
Okay. So is this a mechanism that you say that you would continue to use? You feel it's successful enough that you would continue to use it?
I don't know. Today I may say yes, tomorrow's no, because I'm always cutting it on, cutting it off. So part of me really wants to find someone the old-fashioned way, just, happen to be out and about and, just find someone like that. I think when I get to the point of really cutting on my profile is when I am, I guess, to the point where it's like I'm bored, or I don't know, let's just try again. It's almost like going fishing. And I'm not trying to
Like
glorify
plenty of
that
fish.
website. No, I'm not glorifying that website, because I am not on that website. I don't like that one. I've heard stuff about it. But I guess it's like, okay, maybe this will be a good day. Let me put my net back out or my fishing rod back out. Let's see what happens. So that's how I would kind of describe it.
How would
from
you
my
know when it's
experience.
time to turn off the apps? What type of dude? And guys, if you're listening, she's about to give you some hints. How do you know when it's time to turn the apps off for good?
When I come across guys who's flirtatious, when it's time to do the messaging and they're really flirtatious, or if it's a guy or men who's asking, for my number, I don't pass my number out to anybody. I have to kind of fill them out with the messaging back and forth. But if it is a guy that I've given my number to, if he's doing the texting, like good morning, good afternoon, good night, is how I describe it, just real minimal. If it's not a phone call, oh gosh, that's automatic. That person gets blocked, and then they're blocked on the app as well too. But if I get too many of those, for me, it's like, okay, this isn't for me. And then I'll cut the app off.
But I was looking for first of all, I want to highlight again, fellas, if you're listening, phone calls. Apparently phone calls are important. We heard it twice. But What type of dude that you meet, what would this dude be like for you to say, he's the guy, I'm cutting all these apps off? Kind of like with Drew. She was like, there was one day that's happened and she was like, this is my guy, I'm cutting all my dating apps off. What is that going to be like for you? What is this person going to look like? Not physically, but just in general.
That's a good question, because I hate to say I hadn't met him yet, but if I have met him yet, I can't say it 100%.
Oh, hold on. Here's a test.
So,
are your apps still up? Because if your app's still up, you ain't met him yet.
My app is up, but I'm not checking it like that, which guys get agitated too. That's also an issue. If you're not responding back quick enough, men get agitated, and they'll say,
I probably got a whole hate club.
Yeah, they'll say,
ignores everybody.
If you're not serious while you're on this app, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I work a job and I'm not really on it like that, so
you ain't gotta explain yourself.
I know, but just out of being, courteous.
Okay.
I have, but yeah, that's a good question.
I'm gonna let you sit with that.
Like?
I'm gonna let you
have to sit with that one.
We're gonna jump over to Chris. So, Chris, tell us about your experiences in the online world.
I would say for online dating, it sounds like everyone's just looking to smash. I can say for myself, I'm not looking for anybody to smash. I am looking for something, if I am online, looking for something a little bit more than smashing. It's got to be more than that. And then you have some people, that's all they have to offer. And I'm like, if you're going to offer that to me, I may or may not take it, but I'm looking for more. But so it's like with me, the individuals who I'm looking for, if I'm online, is like, where if we're talking and we send messages and like you kind of get a feel for that person. And I know it is kind of awkward at first, but like it's got to be more than the simple like, hey, how you doing? How you doing today? How was your day? And then what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite movie? Like, no, I need to know more than that. It's got to be more than that. Like I want to know, like, hey, well, what are you looking for? Like, what's your true intentions? Now, if your true intentions are just to smash, then okay, you can say that, and then you can either, hey, we can either do that, and then that's it. But it's not going to be anything more than that. But it's it's crazy out here. Now I know, far as me being a guy, and I know people like, oh well, what guy doesn't want to smash? And I was like, look, man, I want more than smashing. Like it needs to be more than that. But with the online dating, that's like probably 75, 80% of that's where it starts. But I mean, it is a few people out there that's looking for more. So that's what I'm like when I'm on the dating apps and looking at profiles. And then even like when I'm looking at profiles, looking at people, like when I first got onto the sites, I felt like creepy because it's like you're looking at a picture of somebody and you're swiping right, swiping left. And it's like, it's awkward. Like, hold up, man. Like, I'm just looking at this like it's a menu. Like, I know if I go to a nice restaurant, I never order the food that's on the picture because it's not the same. Like, I want to know more about it. I'm like looking at the menu, and this might be the fat boy in me, but I'm looking at the menu. I want to break down what's in the menu, what's the whole thing entails, and versus just looking at a picture. But that's how the online dating is. But I mean, I have met a few good people on there, and we sit there and talk and go back and forth. And I'm like, okay, this may be a little bit more, and we sit and have discussions about different things, and just kind of seeing where it goes. But like I said, as far as the smashing, that's I know for as me per se, that's the last thing that's on my mind.
So are you somebody, because we heard our couple and we heard Keisha talking about phone calls. So are you somebody who will you just stay on the app, or do you move the conversation off the app? Like, have you had success in that whole realm? Like, give us some inside stuff. Give some fellas some tips on how to get off the app, or have you been successful in that space?
See now, well, as far as me, because it's kind of as a guy, you don't want to seem like you're pushing it too fast to move off the app. So I normally let the woman decide, like if she wants to give me her number or she asks for my number, then I'm like, okay, cool, we can like move off the app, and then we'll go to texting each other. And then even after like texting, after maybe a day or so of text, we may call and just talk and just have those discussions because it is different for as texting somebody versus having that conversation over the phone. So I mean, you just kind of like you have to kind of fill it out for as not being too forward because you could be too forward with a woman and it's like you might seem like creepy or pushy or whatever. So it's like not to, especially if it's somebody that we've been messaging and it may like, okay, this person seems we have the same kind of mindset. You don't want to turn them off by like kind of moving too fast.
Gotcha. All right, so we heard everybody on the panel who has experience in that space. Now we're going to move over to the virgin of the team when it comes to online dating.
Oh, I was about to say, this is a different type of show.
That when it comes to online dating now.
I was like, oh.
Like she just putting all her business out here. I'm sorry. But Nicole, and me and Nicole, like I said, are in the same boat, but her reasons might be different from mine. So what is like if somebody had said, okay, Nicole, let's get you an online profile, what would you say? And why?
It's just not something I'm interested in. I genuinely believe in meeting people, like connecting with people at places that I go or through other people that I know. That way it's like a genuine meeting and it's not like a meat market cafeteria type judging situation. So it's something like that I'm not interested in.
She's like, and that's just it. And
Yeah,
kind
like
of
Nicole, straight to the point.
Yeah.
Trust me, I am.
Boom.
And that's the
Boom.
thing. Like I can read through the BS, and trust me, I'm the perpetual single friend of all of my friends. And so I'm always that one that hears, oh my God, I think this is it. Oh God, he's Satan, everything in between. And I have yet to experience somebody having a positive experience online or it blooming into a relationship. And this is, a decade of having friends and hearing their stories. So it's like maybe that's kind of tainted me for a while. Like, why are you getting into that situation after so many negatives? Like, I'm still waiting for the positive or the benefit. And Drew, your story is inspiring. Like, oh, okay, but to hear even you say that there's games that are being played, it's like, oh, okay, so there are the games. Do I really want to entertain the games? Not really. I really don't. I don't have time for that. Not only that, I do find safety is a big thing for me. So it's really hard to assess somebody's capability through words, especially on the internet, because you can be whoever you want to be on the internet. And so then, me being female, which males can run into this too, the dangers of meeting somebody safety wise. And that's another reason why I'm apprehensive.
And that makes perfect sense. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted Drew to come on, because I think I might have said something negative in about online dating or something in one of our podcast rooms. And he was like, hey, I got a story. And I was like, let's tell that story, because it's really, a lot of it is really one way or the other. You don't really find a lot of people who stay in the shade of gray of online dating. Like the couple times I've done it, it's either been out of a bet or a dare, or it's been out of somebody feeling so sorry for me. Like, oh my God, you never get out the house. You're going to be alone forever. No one's ever going to find you. Please get on the, please. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it for this amount of time. But so my profile is freaking hilarious. Like, dude, I'm strange. I'm weird. I believe in aliens. Like, what? Don't freaking swipe on me if you ain't ready for the smoke, because I'm bringing it. So anybody who swipes on me, I'm a very straight, like, hey, I'm very comfortable with who I am. I will tell you weird stories, and I'm cool with that. But I think my aversion to it is I'm an INFJ, so I'm introverted in that space, and I'm very in my head a lot of the times. And it's like, it feels like a meat market. And I'm picking who's the most smashable person. Like, can I smash this person? Okay, I'll swipe. Like, if you're not somebody I feel like I would smash in the future, then I'm not swiping on you. And that just makes me feel very superficial. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like the type of person that makes me feel like, because I'm like Chris said, and Nicole said about cafeteria and the catalog, it's literally so much access to meat suits. And it's like, I like this meat suit. No, I don't like this one. And you're really judging people on what they choose to post. And then you match with people, and then it's like, like there's nothing there. So you'll have like people just sitting in there like, hello. And you're like, I don't want to talk to you, but I don't want to delete you because I don't want to seem mean. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't know what to do with all this. So I'd rather just not. And then there's the whole safety element too, because you got people who are physically dangerous, but you got crazies who are psychologically dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want either one. I don't want somebody standing at my door. I don't want somebody putting my name in Google and finding my address, because FYI, people, and I tell this to people all the time, you can do that. Search your name on Google and find out. And then I don't also want to be in a space of myself not understanding where I'm at and pulling somebody else in. And it's like, okay, this feels really good until it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And there's too much at stake with this. And it's like, I want to make sure it's not being utilized for the wrong reasons. Then you got married people up on there, and man, it's a freaking circus. So I'm so happy. Go ahead.
I wanted to add, a lot of times, male and female, I noticed that people mentally get on the app in like a time of hurt, like, oh, I just broke up with my girl, I'm gonna get on the app. Or, oh, I need to get myself together, so I'm gonna get on the app. It's never like, I really feel, I've been single for a year, I've healed my wounds, I'm at a mature place, I'd like to get on the app to find a marriage or relationship. It's like out of injury or out of getting back at somebody, that type of energy putting into the app, I'm like, that's what you get. You put into it that type of energy, that's what you're going to get. And those are, again, the games that I don't want to play, which is why I don't get on the app.
And it's that micro validation, like, yes. I'm not feeling good about myself today. Let's see how many likes I got. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, that's what it was saved on my phone in the little block where I have all my icons categorized. That block was called micro validation. So if I'm having a day where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be single for freaking ever because no one likes me, I'll go and be like, oh, look at that, I got 15 new matches. I must not be garbage. But then I won't interact with them because I don't really care to. And that's not fair to the people who are on the app using it for the right reason. And that's where I'm going to circle back up to Drew. Do you feel that the intention of why people get on the app have better outcomes if their intention is to find a long-term relationship versus, look, I'm just looking for the first person I match with that I feel we can get something popping?
Yeah, I think the latter is, for the most part, that's what happens. But I think that if you come with intentions, I'm a big supporter of energy. So I don't care if it's electronic energy or if it's in-person energy, you're going to get that energy. So I think that if, for instance, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, but she said that she made it business professional, like a LinkedIn page.
Keisha, yeah.
Keisha made it like the LinkedIn page. I was like, okay, I like that, because when you go in there with like somebody saying that, hey, these are my don'ts and these are my do's, and these is the kind of people that I want in my life, you attract that type of person. But if you're very vague, I mean, honestly, online dating is not that much different than in-person dating, because technically you are kind of going through that meat market, because everybody looks with their eyes, right? Everybody, their first intention is like, okay, that person is either attractive or is attractive to me. So, and then you go and pursue from a verbal standpoint of like, hey, I want to, fuck this person. Excuse me. Language. Sorry, I want to smash this person.
You already said it, man. You already said it.
Right. Like,
don't
I was putting a point where you could cut it out and put it the other way.
You're good.
But and then you kind of like maneuver like that. I think that what the apps do is give you kind of a bigger plethora of people to look at that may not be inside your spectrum. Because I mean, honestly, I don't think I ever would have met her outside of the app, because we live so much different lives. Like, but then when we interacted and connected, it's like, oh shit, we kind of like close. Like, we have things that are in common, and we have things that we vibe with, and we have like all these different things. So I think I mean, I'm not getting paid by Tinder or anything like that. Hopefully, maybe in a couple of months, but
monetize.
But I always think that what you put into it is what you get. It's just like and I'm going to go to Excel spreadsheet. You do a VLOOKUP, you go ahead and, you go to that page and you look up that. If nothing's there for you to look up, it's all depending on what information or what equation you put into it. So I think that's how people should look at it. Like, put your best intentions forward and you'll get that back.
How long were y'all on the app before y'all matched each other?
Ooh, I'm not gonna, like, years.
Years. Andrew, come on now. It was a few weeks, months, maybe.
No, me and you, or you?
Yeah, us, before we matched.
No, before we met. Well, I was on the app before
I'm sorry, matched or met?
Yeah, before y'all matched. Like, how long
we matched? I had been on the app for maybe a few months. He obviously a few years.
Yeah, probably like 3 years before that.
Yeah.
So like in its inception, I was kind of like I like technology. I like going out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
it was like, it was just the best of both worlds for me. It was just, yeah. It just worked out because I was traveling for work and everything like that. And I was like, okay. And again, I put my best intentions forward. I'm like, hey, even if I was matching someone, I'd be like, hey, I'm in the city for this kind of time. I'm looking to go out, to have dinner. Would you like to join me?
Yeah,
And
to have dinner, air quotes. I'm here for a small amount of time. Don't waste it.
Here for a short time, not a long time.
Oh,
But
there you go.
just
There you go.
The game.
I agree with that. There you go.
The game.
Good time, not a long time, baby.
That's Chris's motto there.
Good,
So,
good time, not a long time.
And he's proud of that too. Listen to him.
Mhm.
So
He
I
sure
know
is.
he's very proud of that. So people like that just disappear on you, don't know where the hell they went to. So here's a question. Since all of you guys are on the apps, I know you got some crazy stories. So do you guys have any crazy stories about individuals you want to share? Or not individuals, but any circumstances or meetups or connections you've had with people you've met on the app that was straight crazy or just unsettling?
I can kick this one off. I have been on a good bit of dates before Drew, and I don't try to force my views upon anyone. I definitely want to make sure I respect other people's views, but I came across a guy who was an atheist, and he wanted to make that extremely clear. Okay, works for him. That doesn't mean that works for me. He became extremely obsessive. So obviously I'm working, calling every 5 minutes. When can I see you? What are you doing? Like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I can't sleep.
Oh boy.
It got to a point one day where I finally just decided to block this guy. Didn't give any rhyme or reason, blocked him on the app, blocked him on my phone and everything. I pick up the phone one day and it's him. Hey, it's insert name here. You blocked me? Well, I was like, I don't want to be like, you're doing a little too much for me right now. I'm good. And it didn't stop after that. He found me on social media.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was wild. And at the time I was living alone. So I'm trying to find all this like pepper spray and taser, this, that, and the third. Cause like, again, to your point, is he going to run up to where I live or what? So there were a few instances like that, but more or less he was a little more obsessive than what I needed for somebody that I was just getting to know.
Absolutely. Or for anybody.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Chris.
No, okay, all right. So, I mean, maybe the guy was just applying pressure because women always say they want guys to apply pressure.
At 3 a.m.
However,
right.
I mean, they apply pressure. Pressure is pressure. But
at 3 a.m.
But yeah, see, but the thing is, like when women say apply pressure, they only want that pressure applied to someone that they feeling like that. So if it's a guy that you really feeling and he hitting you up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning and you really feeling him, then you're more likely to accept those messages versus another guy that's applying that pressure at 2-3 o'clock in the morning that you're not feeling like that. And then you like, come on, dude, leave me alone. Then you end up blocking.
If you calling me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you better be in the hospital. Like, unless we started the conversation early and it went to that part. But if you just randomly call me at 3 a.m. and thinking I'm gonna answer the phone, that's not gonna, no. Unless you're 911, I'm on the side of the road bleeding out, then I'll call 911.
Yeah, one thing I want to add there is that I don't think this guy was really taking the initiative to get to know me. I think it stemmed from a place of hurt or that he didn't know himself. Because like Andrew or other people that I dated, if you know me, you know that I have to be at work at 8 a.m. You're not calling me at 3 a.m.
Right.
I can't sleep. What are you doing? That's not my issue. Like, shoot me a text in the morning about that. I mean, Andrew never did that. But if it were him, I would say, hey, I'm asleep at that hour.
Right.
Catch me another time.
It's
and
called
go from there.
boundaries. It's called boundaries. And if you allow somebody to disrespect your boundaries early on, it's game over. It's game over. Because once that happens, it's so hard to retract from that. You know what I'm saying? So it's boundaries. And Like I said, unless it's an emergency, because 3:00 in the morning calls, all those calls are for me are bad news. Like I don't need somebody saying you can't sleep. What the hell I look like? now I can't sleep. Now we both up. The hell? So yeah,
Sing 'em a lullaby.
What'd you say?
Sing 'em a lullaby.
Nah, son.
Maybe that's all they need.
What you said?
Sing a little bit of a lullaby.
Nah.
I'm gonna sing you something. I'm gonna sing you something. So Keisha,
Yeah.
you got any stories? Any crazy stories?
From online dating.
I don't want to re-traumatize you now. I don't want to re-traumatize you. And Chris, you're on deck. It's coming to you next, Chris. So go ahead and start thinking.
Oh goodness, let's see. I met someone with some serious trust issues early on. I mean, it was just like alarming. So they were almost at the point of being obsessive, but it was, I called you. What was you doing? Why didn't you call me back? You know, all of this. And well, I know you get off at this time. And I called you like 10 minutes afterwards, but you didn't answer the phone. You know, so it was just kind of like flags like that made me, of course, it caught my attention to say, okay, something is definitely up with this person. And it did get to the point where the person got blocked, and they did try to it's crazy because even after getting blocked, why would you try to find a way of getting in contact with the woman? I don't understand when men do that. And it's like, you don't mean them well. You got to know something's wrong with you. I'm hoping you do. So
And how does that conversation work? Like, you blocked me. Yeah, I did.
That's the question. Did you block me? The question is always, hey, did you block me?
Did you block me? Oh, okay. Because I'm like,
and I'm like,
I would play it off. I did? I blocked you? Dang, how'd you get through? I need to block the new number.
But I always do try to warn. Like I do, I'm a communicator, so I try to have a level of a communication, and I'm explaining, how I feel about their behavior, talk about it, whatever. After that, then it's just straight block.
Okay. So. Okay. And how about you, Chris? What crazy story do you have?
I don't really have any. Because with me, as far as like, I feel as though my vetting process is pretty thorough, so I can weed out the nonsense early. Now, sometimes I might see something on the profile and I might swipe right, hoping that someone matches with me, because I may have a question about their profile. But I can say one time it was a profile where she had maybe 6 or 7 pictures, and in every picture it was her and another young lady. So I'm like, I don't know who is who. I don't know who the profile is for. So I'm like, all right, well, let me match, because I want to see which one is it. So luckily we did match. And then so the first message I sent was, hey, is this a 2-for-1 thing? But she ended up unmatching and blocking me after that. But I just wanted to know.
So freaking classy.
No, I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know what I was getting into.
I love the.
I just wanted to know what I was getting into. Yeah, but I don't really have any like bad issues. Like the few times I have taken it off the app and met with an individual and we went out to meet in person, it's been good. And like I said, I have some people to this day we still stay in contact with, and may go out every now and then. And then other people where it's like we might have went out once, and I'm like, all right, well, this ain't going. I know this is not going to work, and kind of know midway through the meeting that this will be the last time I see this person. So but I just let it know, like, hey, look, man, I'm just not feeling this? Because you could be messaging with somebody for, let's say, a couple days to maybe a couple weeks, and then you talk on the phone a couple times, and then you meet up, and it's like totally different. It's just a different energy because people can be different behind the screen, behind the phone, and they're different. And then you meet in person, it was like, nah, I'm really not vibing with this person. So instead of stringing it along, I just let somebody know, hey, look, I'm not feeling you're cool, but you're not really what I'm looking for. But I have other people that always like letting people know, hey, like how I feel, and these are my intentions. And if my intentions change, I will let them know as well. So I don't really have any horror stories. I just have different things that it doesn't lead to much because I'll nip it in the bud. I might ask some weird. I like asking questions up front, and a lot of people don't like talking about those things up front. But I would rather discuss. Hey, what's your thoughts on this? Or how do you feel about that? That way, there's no like emotional attachment 3, 4 months down the road. And then you find out that this person doesn't have the same mindset as you. And then you like, yo, I wasted 3, 4 months of getting to know you, and this is not gonna work. Like, no, we're gonna speed this thing up, and we're gonna know within a couple weeks to a month, and we can like, hey, it's time to um either poop or get off the pot. I don't want to say that word. I don't know if I can say that word.
Y'all can cuss. Dang, just because I don't cuss, y'all can cuss all you want to.
All right, I just want to be respectful.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here for a
be
short
respectful.
time, but not a long time.
Hey.
Respectful?
Yeah,
How the hell does that work?
It's nothing disrespectful about that. But no, but the whole thing is like just wanting to know, like, because the thing is, I know what I want and I know what I'm looking for, and then other people can say that they want that, but they have other motives, and then they just trying to get what they want and everything like that. Now I know it's the roles kind of sound reversed because that's normally women saying stuff like that, but you do have good guys like myself. I like to think of myself as a good guy. That's like looking for a true connection. Oh, you laughing a little bit too hard.
Was I on mute?
No, you laughing a little bit too hard.
Sorry, I thought I was on mute. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris. Damn, disrespectful.
Yeah, you laughing a little bit too hard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was very disrespectful. But no, but like you said, but I'm like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, I'm not like, I don't just want to smash. Like, okay, like if all you have is that to offer, I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Like, what? And then, see, the thing is, when I find someone and that's all they have to offer, or that's what they're offering, I'm like, well, what makes yours different than anybody else?
Oh boy. And on that note, I'm gonna take the mic back from Chris. Because we're closing in on our hour. So I want, with that being said, Chris, I'm gonna circle back around and end with Drew. What are some tips for people? Because I can't give no tips. Because look, I don't have the time or the energy to be going on these dates, and I'll forget people are even talking to me in these apps. I forgot I got the damn app. So like, I'm not the one to give any type of tips. So I'm gonna go back to Chris, to Keisha, to Drew. If you guys have any tips for people who are wanting to get in this, or who are in it and just not successful. And I do want to highlight there are success stories. That's why I have Drew on here. But what would be some tips for that you guys see or that you've used that you got an outcome from? I'm gonna let you keep the mic, Chris, and answer that, and I'm gonna go backwards and end with Drew.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. And so I would just say, just be yourself. Like, just be genuine and just be upfront with your intentions, letting you know, hey, this is what I want, and just go from there. And you're more likely to find what it is, or hopefully you find what it is. Just being upfront. Don't try to be something that you're not to try to get what you want, and then end up hurting somebody else in the long run.
All right. So Chris's tip is be yourself, coolness. And Keisha, what's your tip? Oh, we don't scare Keisha away. Keisha, you ain't got no tips.
Are you talking on me, girl?
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So I guess for me, it would be to present what you're looking for. So if you're looking for someone, who's serious, then you don't need to put up hoochie mama pictures and all this different stuff like that. Present yourself in a way to attract what you're looking for. So that would be my advice.
All right. Nicole has some advice or a tip.
I was just going to say exactly what Keisha said. Ladies, do not be surprised if all the hits that you're getting want to smash if you're standing there in a bikini with your butt in the air. Hello, you're advertising something and then you're getting what you're advertising. Like that doesn't match up. So if you're looking for something beyond a smash, put something else out there.
There you go. Listen to Nicole, man. All right, my beautiful couple. How do people who are in this for the long haul, who are serious about it, get to where you guys are? You guys are about to get married in 2 months. Like, tell us how to get where you guys are.
I think I can kick this one off. You looking? I think it's just really stating your intent from get-go. I never hid my intent from Drew. I initially started off with like, hey, I'm just dating just to date. I'm not trying to smash. I'm not trying to do anything further. If it happens to go one way or the other, let's just make sure that we're super clear on that. The same thing was when we got in a relationship. I'm ready to get into a relationship with you. Like there was a clear line of what that meant in terms of deleting the profile or whatever. So I think just being very clear on your intent from the start and just regularly checking in, like even if it's in terms of a date or if you guys are having multiple dates, checking in and making sure that you feel the same way, because it might seem obvious, but nobody knows something unless it's said. In terms of just a safety tip, because I know we talked about safety earlier, I always shared with my friends where I was going and I always shared my location. Even now, like I have friends who know I'm at home and literally I'm engaged to this man. So it's just a matter of, from a safety perspective, making sure that someone always knows where you are and that it's literally unsaid. But I think I think the key is communication for us. Even in the sense of like, hey, we've been together. Is the goal marriage or not? What are we doing? Or the same thing for him was, okay, well, where are we? There are other people that are involved here. He had a daughter that, is now my bonus daughter. So like, what does that look like for everything? So I think for us, it's communicating from the start, and even now, just like effectively communicating our needs and where we want to be in terms of a relationship.
That's awesome. And the fact that you guys are doing couples counseling, that's something that was hit on the previous episode we did too. I think that is so amazing. And what about you, Drew? What tips did you have to offer?
All right. First tip, never book 2 dates on the same day. It's just tiring. You're always going to burn yourself out. It's just like, this is tip number 1. Tip number 2, always, it's for fun while you're dating. So always have a good time. Try to have a good time in some way, somehow, some fashion, because everybody tries to put relationships in this box where it's supposed to be one way or another. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the person you're with. And even if it doesn't work out, end it amicably, like some way, somehow. Be like, hey, this is not working out. So the person doesn't feel like they've been shitted at the end of the day. Another tip I would always say is to bring energy to the situation. So if you are the person that's getting slighted or getting cut off, don't feel like it's like you need to change yourself to fit that person's standard. Now you are you, so continue being you. You will fit in the mold and the puzzle piece to somebody else out there. So continue to be yourself and don't let that one interaction or a few interactions hold you down. Also, I think Keisha did it right when she took time off the app. Take time off. it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? You don't need to keep on going on dates, then you're going to find Mr. Perfect. Take some time out, realize who you are, and then, get back on the horse per se. So those are my couple tips of advice. I have so many others that I can share. And I guess you're going to have me on again. So
absolutely. Because I actually want to
I'll
talk
just wait for
about,
invite.
Yeah, I want to talk about the difference between compatibility and chemistry. Like those are two different things. And people don't get it. Like you could be compatible with somebody all day, but if there's no chemistry, like what do you have? Like we like the same car. We have the same favorite color. You know what I'm saying? So I want to kind of dive deep on the psychological aspect, because y'all know that's my area of, can you have a relationship without chemistry? That's an interesting question. And I'm gonna do a fast round, and then I'll let Drew tell everybody where to find him at. And I just want no thinking, just answer off the top of your head. So I'm gonna start with you guys first. What's more important to you in a successful relationship, chemistry or compatibility? Don't think about it, just answer.
Chemistry.
Okay.
Chemistry.
Okay. How about you, Keisha? Chemistry or compatibility?
Chemistry.
All right. How about you, Chris?
Chemistry.
And how about you, Nicole?
Compatibility.
Oh, oddball out.
Always.
How did I know Nicole was going to say that?
Well, because like if our communication styles aren't compatible,
no, we're not going. We're not giving any
I'm
background.
like, no, there's no way. I'm like chemistry.
That's gonna be another episode. My answer is chemistry too. Like we can like all the same things, but if I can't talk to you, if I can't have a conversation with you, if we can't laugh at the same stupid stuff, if we can't I need to feel a spark. And if I don't feel a spark, it's not going to last. I'm compatible with a lot of people. I'm actually not. But I mean, I can have a lot of similarities with a lot of people. But if we ain't got chemistry, then I need fire. Okay, I'm going in a whole nother direction. So Drew, let's go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you and what's going on with Drew versus the world.
All right, everybody. First and foremost, Michelle, aka Melissa, thank you so much for this.
They don't know about
inside
that.
baseball.
Inside
baseball. Deep cut. But thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Thank you for having my lovely fiance. I don't know if this is your first podcast. Is this your first podcast, babe?
It's the first one that you know about.
Okay, awesome. That's all I need.
I like it.
Anyway.
No, there was one back in college. That's it.
Anyway, thank you so much. Where you can find, I host a podcast called Drew vs. the World, where each week I talk to people who are changing the world. And through their success and the failures, my listeners become world changers themselves. So tune in every Monday on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, anywhere you listen to this podcast right now. And you can hear inspirational stories from people of so many different viewpoints and different vantage points, from millionaires to people that drive the bus. So tune in to Drew vs. the World on www.drewversustheworld.com.
Do it. All right. And you all know where to find Keisha and Nicole and Chris, but do you guys have anything you want to tie it up with a bow with to the listeners? Keisha, Chris, and Nicole?
No, not for me. I think we've said everything that needs to be said for this one.
All right. How about you, Chris?
No, we all good. Like I said, just not everyone is looking to smash. I just want to say that.
Not everyone's looking to smash people. Come on. And Nicole, do you have any final thoughts?
No, thank you guys for coming on. It's been a pleasure hearing about your story and your tips. So we appreciate it.
Yes.
It literally gives hope. It gives hope
definitely
for people
gives hope.
who are like, screw this mess, man. Like, I'm gonna stay in my tower. So it gives us hope, right? So yeah, thank you for that. And thank you everybody who listened. If you guys have any stories you want to share, let us hear it. Again, you can find us on our Instagram, the Looking Glass Podcast, same with Facebook, our website, www.thelookingglass.fans. And check us out. Check out the content coming on the 30-day challenge. Well, it's going to be 28 days because they get a little break this go around, but definitely some amazing content coming your way for that too. So check us out. Season 3 is about to pop off. So keep your ears open for little tidbits of interesting things along the way. So thanks again, and you guys take care, stay safe, and be well.
Hey, everybody, before you step out, I just wanted to take a moment to say we did have some laughs on this episode, and we had an amazing success story with online dating experiences. But I definitely want to remind you all that you must be safe if this is your mechanism of choice in meeting people. There's scammers out there, there's predatory individuals out there who are looking to find people to take advantage of, and even worse. So just a reminder to use trusted sites, use verified accounts, and do your research. There's applications and websites out there where you can search people and you can get everything from their address. You can run background checks with phone numbers, and you can do backward searches on images and pictures. So there's definitely enough research tools out there for you to stay safe out in this online dating world. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you good luck. I would love to hear any more success stories. But bottom line, you guys stay safe out there.